Hey, how's it going? RJ with Rose City Woodworks. Today, I'm building the roller frames for my in-feed and out-feed table. I told you yesterday that I was going to have to bite the bullet and do it. That's the only way I'm going to be able to do these tables is to bite the bullet. So, I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking again today. It's mostly going to be working and go, and I will come back and do a voiceover to help it out. But I hope you enjoy the video. Like, subscribe, and share. Also, do me one more favor. Take a look at the links in my description. Levi's, badass extension cords, and I'm going to add some more to it today, like wellness checks, things like that. Just something to help out. Click on them, check them out. Doesn't matter if you buy anything or not necessarily, but if you do, it makes things a lot better. And it'll help me make the show better too. Eventually, maybe I'll be able to afford a cameraman.
Alright, what you see here is me in fast forward. I'm cutting the boards for the outside edges of the roller table. These are the long boards. They're going to be 91 inches apiece, and being as they're recycled from my original work table, I had to cut the ends off where they had been screwed together and split and drilled and everything else. That's why you see me cutting like 6-inch pieces off of them. Needless to say, I'm going to cut five 16-inch pieces here. Yeah, and another thing, I really dislike using pine, especially yellow pine that's been struck by lightning, which this here, as you can tell, is fat lighter, and I'm vacuuming. It's sticky. The dust is sticking to absolutely everything. I'm still paying for it. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice or not. Anyways, sorry about that. Sitting here trying to get it square, and it's getting screwed together now. I'm glad this is an 8x speed. This was really slow and boring. Now, while I was doing it, it was a lot better, but without me having a microphone to record while I'm talking, not to mention there's such Nazis about copyright and whatnot that I can't listen to music while I work, which is something I really enjoy. So the only way I can get away with it is to do voiceovers like this. And like I said, this to me, sitting here watching myself do something I've already done, and then noticing that, man, I really need a cameraman because I keep getting out of frame 100 times. I'm sorry that my videos aren't better than what they are, but they will get better. I am starting to manipulate the algorithm to where I can put in clips, things like that. I'm learning. I'm still learning. I'm new to this, new to YouTube video making, I guess you could say. I'm new to editing. And right now I'm working 16 to 18 hours a day on the project and on the videos combined, and it's taking its toll. But as soon as I can get some help, I will get help, and things will get better. I got shorts ordered and everything else. I'm just waiting to pick them up. I actually got to finish this job in order to pick it up. And this job's really taking its toll on me. It really has. I was also working full-time as a machinist at a local machine shop, which went sour on me. The minute I sold these tables that I'm building here for you, the Maryland fried chicken tables, the minute I sold that job and collected my deposit on it, it's like everybody at work got mad at me, and every time I'd get off work, I couldn't hardly walk from where I had worked myself almost sick every day, and all it did was put me further and further behind on this. So I had to get out of there. I'm no longer at the machine shop. And that's a shame because I really enjoyed it. I enjoy building with metal just as much as I do wood. But right now I'm not equipped to build with metal, so I can't show y'all any of that. But I will eventually get there as well. Rose City Woodworks, we do build and design metalwork stuff to go with our woodworking. We do signs as well, and metal's just as much part of signs as wood is. Needless to say, sitting here, I just did something a lot of people don't even know you can do, which is flip those clamps over and make them into pushers. Instead of clamps, instead of clamping together, they push apart. I call them pushers when I flip them around. It works really good when you're squaring stuff up, and that's what I was using it for here. I also use it to level things, push off the floor, mounting the roller, the outfeed table to the other wall. The next video, which will be ready here in a few hours. I had to use it to level the table off. I had to put a pusher on each end on the outside, and I went ahead and added a leg to it after moving it to the other side. Whereas on this side, the original side of the room, it didn't have a leg. But you'll get to see that in the next video. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here. I've got to get a microphone. Forgive me, it's 11 o'clock at night. It's about the only time I can do voiceover recording and stuff like that, when everybody else in the house is asleep. No TV's on, nothing like that. Nobody coming in. My children, I love them dearly. No dadas, no, hey daddy, can I do this? Right in the middle of me making a statement and losing my train of thought. You know, it's not going to last forever, so I just wait, and I spend a little time with them, stay up a little late. If I lose a little sleep, it's okay. I'll never get these moments back with my children. This is the creative way I come up with to mount this thing to the wall. As you all have known many times, I am a one-man show. I don't have a cameraman. I don't have anything. I do everything from a singular position. And I had to figure out how to hold this up to be able to mount it to the wall by myself. And the chair with blocks on it, it actually worked out pretty good. There I am, back and forth, looking for stuff. My shop is so disorganized right now. I just moved back into this shop, by the way. I had my own shop in town, or a small town outside of my major town. I'm not going into any details about that, but let's just say me and a former boss of mine didn't work things out like I had hoped we would. And I had to wind up coming back home, and this rent to own building was the only way I could have a shop at home again. And I was fortunate enough to get it, but it's also very small, and I'm strung out between this building now and a storage room.
Alright, now I gotta lay out my rollers for my roller cars. Alright, now according to this, I've got 11 rollers, which means I can, and it's 90 inches long, minus an inch is 89, which means I can only get one every 8 inches roughly. So I'm going to skip 1 inch and then go to 9, 17, 25, 33, 41, 49, 57, 65, 73, and 81. Alright, now if my math is right, which I think it is, that's one every 8 inches roughly. So now I'm fixing to go down and put a mark across to all my boards. Now, keep in mind, we're not going to drill these the way you typically would to hold the roller shaft. All we're going to do is put some screws in here, in between every one of these lines to hold them together. One from this side and one from this side, because there's actually two sets here. They've got to be marked the same. So I'm going to sit here and mark them all, and then we're going to screw them together. And then I'm going to come down and I'm going to center drill in between each board. That way half the hole on each board. And the rollers will sit in it and they'll be at the same height. Then I'm going to sit and mount them all down after I put the rollers in to this feed table here. And then my feed table will be done. I know y'all probably think I'm crazy. And yes, I do realize that I'm not going to be able to use the entire table. This is going to limit me from a 13-inch board down to a 8-inch board. But there's nothing I can do about that at the moment. Right now I'm in too big of a hurry to worry about getting down smaller than that. And if I need to, I'll figure out a way to do it. Now this doesn't have to be perfect, so don't freak out. Don't freak out. It ain't got to be perfect. I got to get a microphone too. If you got a good microphone you can recommend to me, please do so. That's the reason I don't like doing a whole lot of talking on these. It's because I'm afraid you can't hear me. And while you may forgive poor quality video, you're not going to forgive poor quality audio because you want to hear what I got to say. You want to hear the way I'm doing things. And why I'm doing things. That's part of the fun of these videos. Let's see here. I got to mark this first one up here that I failed to mark. Now we're going to drill these holes. We're going to drill these holes slightly larger than the shafts. And we're doing that on purpose too. The reason we're doing that on purpose is so that no matter what, they're going to line up. And when I put these together here in just a minute with 1-inch screws, you may understand a little better on what's going on. Now, like I said, your placement doesn't have to be perfect. None of it has to be perfect. Should I use pocket screws? I don't think so. They're too expensive to waste like that. So I got a bunch of 1-inch screws here. Let's see. Means I got to countersink them at least 1/4 inch. Oh, I ain't got to go that deep. Those must be 1.5-inch screws. Needless to say, here we go. Now let's get started doing this part.
I never thought I'd be glad to hear myself stop talking. You know, when I'm doing this on the fly, it's different than when sitting here doing a voiceover watching myself. I'm sitting here thinking to myself the whole time, hey, you animal, shut up, get moving, get to work. Yeah, anyways. I completely wasted my time here. I sat there and put in all them 1-inch screws to only turn around and take them back out afterwards. But I figured I'd let you guys see that I did actually do it. 1.5-inch screws, excuse me. 1 5/8. I actually measured them after I was done recording. They're 1 5/8 wood screws. But needless to say, I'm going in between the first 2 boards and then in between the 3rd and 4th board. I'm not drilling in between the 2nd and the 3rd board. There would be no point. But needless to say, not every one of them came out perfect, but just about all of them came out right, or close enough. Anyways, as I discovered right there, the rollers are actually the same size as the screw I was using.
Alright. Now, what I'm doing here is actually installing the rollers. Now, I'm not done by doing this by no means. Or, as a matter of fact, I'm going to have to loosen them from the looks of it just a hair. Because, as was mentioned earlier, this bit is just slightly, it is real close to the same size as the shaft. I thought it was bigger, but apparently I should have used my micrometer on it because it's not. Needless to say, I just go through and loosen these up a little. And get it fit in for sure. Besides, I'm swapping these screws out anyway, so it don't really matter. I could take, one all the way out. Anyways. Take every other one all the way out and go ahead and tighten them down, I guess. And I would take the freaking wrong one out on both sides. Alright. I forgot the first hole doesn't have a screw in it, but there is a place for it there. Now what I'm going to replace them with is 2-inch screws so that I can hold the rail down. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. I got a bunch of 2-inch or 3-inch screws. That'll work too. Alright. Go ahead and put the first one in. Loosen it back up so that I can pull the board apart because they're not full thread. So I can, if I loosen the top one a little, it'll help pull it apart. The next one I can take up the loop. This one I can take all the way out. Alright, but I'm not going to make the switch yet until I get the roller in. So, let's see here. It's not working out as planned. There you go. A little persuasion is all it took. There we go. You're gonna have to come out more apparently. There we go. First one is installed and spin. Look at that, guys. It spins just beautifully. I'm just going to go ahead and take all these out because I can see where this is going. I got the 2 in the end to hold them down. That's all I've got to have right now. I'll come back and put these in after everything else is done. With them not being sewed together, now I can actually move the board as needed. I've only got one long screw holding them, so I wasted a little time, but I learned a lesson at the same time. See, now I can go through, pick the board up a little bit, bump the roller up to its position. There you go. There you go. And I can just go all the way down the line doing this. And then after I get them all in, I come back and put screws in. Probably sped it up quite a bit too, to be honest with you, because I'm not having to fight with it as much. And these are lightweight rollers, fair warning. So, now, I may have to go to the storage room because I think we got, I'm supposed to have more than this. Now I can damn near install them one-handed.
And here I go again for another moment or two of voiceover. As I said there, it was a complete waste of time to put all them little screws in, being as all I needed was the 3-inch screws to hold it to the rails, and then they'd be permanently there. What I realized is the best way to hold enough friction on all the roller shafts is to have a long screw into the base all the way down. And as you see here, I'm straightening up the crook because I used the cheap $4 they're 3/4 inches thick, 1 inches wide strips. They're the cheap ones at Lowe's. I bought 4 of them for like $10, $12, something like that. And I wish I had bought more, but at the same time I'm glad I didn't.
Chop sawnaw's in the way. I'm just going to try it like this first. Comes out of the planer, rolls all the way down. Very little bump. You see that? Oh yeah, I'll be able to play